know about Hawaii. I'd like to visit Hawaii. I know about that. I'd like to go to Hawaii. I just don't know about Hawaii. I think this is a New Orleans-based show. I'm pretty sure. I think my Hawaii vacation is going to be based off of my Japan vacation. Yes, it is indeed New Orleans. Thank you, Mr. Drew Brees. That's from La Jolla, from his compound outside San Diego. Corporal, that would probably have to be my Hawaii trip. I think I'd fly to California and stay there a few days, probably. Maybe do some, San Diego, LA, San Francisco type of gimmick. One of the places. Hang there for a few days, I would think. And then beeline to Hawaii from there. Because it's, 4 hours to the coast. And then I'm sure Hawaii from LA is about 5, 6, something like that. And then I'd hang in Hawaii for like a week or so. And then I'd beeline to Japan. Boy, New Orleans to Japan has to just be a brutal trip. I would imagine that's like 24 hours of flying. Not in the air, but just go to the airport, go from New Orleans to, some American destination, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Denver, something like that, maybe to California. And then directly from Salt Lake City or LA or wherever you hook up from New Orleans, straight to Japan. And I would imagine that flight's got to be 10, 12 hours. I know Australia's like 18 from LA, something absurd. I would have to piecemeal it. It would be like a month-long journey. I don't know. I don't want to spend 18 hours on a friggin' plane. I really don't. That's just brutal. That's like torture. If the plane had like a gym, if the plane had like a music club, if the plane had like, a movie theater, if the plane had some fine dining restaurants, if the plane had some distractions, it'd be fine. But, sitting in a tennis can that's just enlarged to massive size, a tennis ball can, and basically it's a Greyhound bus with wings. I don't know. That's just not 18 hours, fun for me. I'd have to break that crap up. But then the opposite's true. It's like you want to get there, do your thing. You're going to be in Australia for 2 weeks. You deal with the 1 day of flight. Just sucks. Air travel has not improved all that much. Is it more fuel efficient? Yeah. Is it quieter? Yes. Are engines quieter? Yes. Is the interior of the plane quieter? Yes. Is it safer? Yes. All that stuff. But as far as speed, getting there quicker, no improvements at all. More luxurious, better first class, lay flat beds, all that stuff. It'll cost you like a few house mortgages, though, to get the lay flat bed on the flight. Believe it or not, I have never flown first class in my life. Never flown first class. Had an opportunity, and you're going to be like, Corey, you blew it. It was $45 to upgrade, and I didn't because I was doing some traveling, and I had changed my ticket twice. And it was like a $150 charge to change it once. And then I had to change it another time. And they popped me like 75 more bucks. So when I got to the thing, like 45 for first class, I almost thought they were flipping me the bird at that point. I was just so, pissed about paying all these extra fees and changing and missing flights and all this crap. I forgot it was work related or something related. I don't know. But I just missed that opportunity. Looking back, I'm like, $45? Hell yeah. What a dummy. Anyway, it is a wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Yeah, I'd much rather drive, obviously, from one place to another. But if you have to go often, you're going to end up having to fly. I mean, like even to Houston. Houston's like a 5-hour drive. You get to the airport an hour and a half early. You fly to Houston. The flight's 45 minutes. You get it from the airport to where you got to go. That's another, you're at about 3 hours. Just a little quicker flying. No, if I can drive it, I'd rather drive. Just airports are a pain in the rear end. Now, I've hopscotched past first class to private jet. I've flown in a private jet a few times. And I don't know, if I were wealthy, I would never fly commercial ever again. Pull up in your car, right to the plane, get out of your car, get on the plane, fly to where you're going. There's a car waiting for you on the other end. No one to deal with. Yep. The wealthy have it going with the private plane gimmick. Yeah, you right. A lot to discuss on this wide open Wednesday. Rouse's Markets phone lines are always open. The Corporal fielding your phone calls, 766-9480. 766-9480. Corporal, you saw those cats up on the tower when we came in outside the building? The hell with that, huh?
Could not pay me enough.
Well, I mean, I with the two hooks, I guess, that kind of gimmick and some kind of like harness thing, I guess I would do it. But yeah, you'd have to pay me a lot. And I would never go change the light bulb on some 1,000-foot tower like these guys do. It just
absolutely not. I had to, do the rappel tower in boot camp and all that garbage. Never again.
It's dangerous, man. You better hold on. You drop, you're done. You're done. No, in these towers, it's funny. I worked at Channel 2 in Baton Rouge. The tower's on site, like right on Highland Road, about a mile, a half, 2 miles from the LSU campus north. And I was working at Channel 2, and I'd pull up there every day, and I'd walk right past that tower and go into the building. I'm college age. I worked there twice, like once at like 20 and once again like at 23. And one day I was like, I'm going to check out the view from the top of the tower. There's the ladder right there. I'm just going to go up this tower and go check it out, College kid, let's go. So I got on that ladder and I start going up. It's just this steel ladder. It's this metal ladder. I got about 20 feet up, maybe 2 or 3 stories in the air up. My hands are sweating. It's this thin little metal pipe. I'm not worried about like it breaking or anything. I'm worried about me slipping and falling. So I went about 30 feet up and came straight down. And that's like the last time I ever did something like that. Just no interest at all in that kind of stuff. Thank God, man. As a kid, as like a 15-year-old, I probably would have climbed that friggin' tower. Halfway up, hands sweating. Uh-oh, grip tight. Probably had my elbow over the thing. Help. Somebody come up to save me. Sheesh. Oh, wow. Yeah, those guys, I looked up, Corporal. I was like, man, I'm getting dizzy just looking up there. I just glanced for like a second. I'm dizzy just looking up at those cats dangling up there from up on that tower. You want to know the scariest part about height, Corporal? You get used to it after a while. That's the scariest part about height.
That's my issue.
It is. I don't want to get used to it. I want to be freaked out every single time.
The sense of danger keeps you alive. It keeps you honest.
I mean, the picture of those guys eating lunch on that steel beam, at the Empire State Building, Chrysler Building, whatever they were building in the 20s in New York, that's real. Those guys walking around with no harnesses, that's real. People died. A breeze would come and knock them off. They'd slip. There's something wet. Didn't realize something was there. Just slipped. People died building all those buildings back then. But you think about it, most of the time, most of the applications, no one did die. And they were no harnesses, no scaffolding, no netting underneath. Just walking out there and hot bucket of bolts and hooking girders together. Crazy. No, you get used to height after a while. It's scary. That's not good. Hey, the 4:00 hour this afternoon on this wide open Wednesday brought to you by Katie's. That's good. That's about as New Orleans as it gets. Why aren't you winding down the day at Katie's right now in Mid-City, Iberville, corner Tallahassee? Old school New Orleans specialties. Go check them out tonight, Katie's in Mid-City. Oliver Thomas yesterday on the program. He's going to let us know by the beginning of the year if he's going to run for mayor or not. It looks like a yes. I'd say 99% chance. Something unforeseen would have to pop up. You can go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson and check out some clips from yesterday's program. Like getting rid of the traffic cameras if he were elected mayor. And then the thing I liked best, I talked to him about this, saying, there's not a Republican or a conservative to be found in New Orleans government. That's part of the problem and the dysfunction. He agreed. Talks cheap. If he is the mayor, let's see what he does. But he talks about a diversified administration, black, white, Republican, Democrat. And then I double down on that. Hey, Bold, Life, Soul, Coup, these hyper extreme black political inner city organizations that are us versus them, very divisive, not diverse, divisive. He said no to them, kind of the hell with them. Pretty interesting stuff. Corey Johnson with you.
The Woodhouse Day Spa with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. It is a wide open Wednesday. Phone lines are open. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Got a good one lined up for you today. Have you been watching the Democratic National Convention? Have you been checking this out? I watched a little, just like the Republican National Convention. I don't know what it is. I would never go to one of these. I'm an independent, so I guess that kind of answers that question. But I think even if I were a Democrat or a registered Republican, that's kind of for, I mean, you really have to be into it. And I don't think I would be that into it. And watching it on television after a while, I don't know. I just get bored with it. I guess because I'm an independent. I watch about as much as the Republican as I did the Democrat, and then it just gets a little folksy and corny and very targeted for, I don't know. I was like, all right, let's go to 200 on Cox and find a good movie or something. Corey Johnson with you on a Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us. Got a good one for you. Chief Marshal at the University of Holy Cross Police, Chief Marshal Pierre's with us. How are you, Chief?
I'm doing good, Corey. It was a pleasure to be on the line with you, my man.
Yep. I'm glad to have you, Marshal. What's going on?
Hey, man, we got a great one that we're setting up for August 29th over here at the university. We are going to be doing a constitutional carry permanent session to kind of like educate our folks in the city what's going on and what they can do to protect themselves and also to be better prepared in the event that they may encounter something like this. So, man, it was a pleasure that we were able to connect with you, the great Corey Johnson, to put us on there so we can spread the word.
Oh, boy, I don't know about that. I got the University of Holy Cross over on the West Bank, the police chief, Marshal Pierre, with us. Hey, Marshal, why are these sessions so important? Why this emphasis right now? I'm guessing the change in the law for starters, and then even if there was no change in the law, this is good stuff to know.
Absolutely, Corey. What it is, it's going to give our attendees feel more educated and empowered about self-defense, and especially around the subject of carrying a firearm.
Yep.
Attendees will also gain a valuable insight into the rights and the best practices for responsibility of gun ownership and self-defense. So absolutely, it couldn't have come at a better time for us to put this on after July the 4th. The law was already passed, and New Orleans finally came on board with it, and it's been implemented. So we want to make sure the folks in Region 1, as well as the entire state, have an opportunity to come sit down and have a discussion with us about what they can and can't do and stuff of this nature, and also connecting with instructors that can also give more training. The biggest thing in the law that kind of had me a little nervous was the fact that there's no training attached to that particular bill.
No, you're right. No, I look at it, and some folks might think this is simplistic. It's like buying a big table saw, you know? Right. I don't hammer. I don't build. I'm not a construction guy. I'm not, that's not me, but I can go buy a table saw. But because I'm sort of, I don't know, have a little wherewithal, I'm like, I'm going to get with someone who uses these and have them train me on how to use it right. And I'd probably have that table saw in the garage for a while, not using it unless my guy was there with me until I felt comfortable. People go out and buy guns all the time. They have no idea. You think you just load it and start shooting. I own a gun. I using the table saw example, it sat in the box and I only pulled it out when the guy training me was there until I felt comfortable enough to use it. People are buying them and I'll figure it out on my own like it's, some widget or something. There's a lot more to guns, and they're dangerous, and you have to know what you're doing, and it's not just go buy them and start shooting.
And Corey, you're right on point with that, man. That's an excellent point. I'm going to piggyback off you a little bit on it. And I'm going to give you a prime example. Here's an issue that we have here in Southeast Louisiana as well as the entire region of the nation. Statistically, we have been having a lot of children get access to these firearms. when you allow folks to just go out and do, I'm not saying allow, but when you have folks going out and buy firearms and they haven't been trained on the safety part of that thing, you lay your gun down and you have a small child going who's curious. And of course, we all, as children, we were curious. We did these things, get their hands on that firearm, that there's always a possibility that some tragic happened. So this is the reason why I've been compelled, and I'm so blessed to be at the University of Holy Cross and have the president, Stan McLeary, allow us to do this here at this university and on the West Bank, the best bank, right?
Yep.
So we are able to come here and put on a session, 2 sessions that would allow folks to come in and hear a message that can possibly prevent an incident happening in their home or at somebody else's home.
It's a new gun carry law workshop over at the University of Holy Cross. What are some of the topics you guys are going to cover? This is tomorrow, right? Tomorrow afternoon?
Actually, it's going to be next week on the 29th.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. A week from tomorrow, next August 29th. My bad. Sorry, Chief.
Some of the topics that we're going to be talking about, the implicating of armed in public, staying and how to identify pre-threat indicators, de-escalation techniques, and the difference between carrying with a concealed permit versus without a permit in Louisiana. So there's a difference in the two. A lot of folks don't understand that. I'm getting a lot of calls for it. I kid you not.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey, well, since I've been ordered, the law is passed now. I can carry my gun without a permit. Can I come on school premises? No, that law still stands. You still have to respect the law. And again, ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
Nope.
This is the reason why we want you to come here if you can. And let the experts sit down and have a conversation with you and educate you about what you can and can't do. If we don't hit a topic that you're familiar with or you don't understand, you always can contact your local DA's office or the Attorney General's office to get more clarification on how the law reads and what it means.
And the New Orleans has some micro laws, I guess you'd call them, parades, parts of the French Quarter, sort of, I don't want to say supersede the state law, but are specific to New Orleans only, right?
Right. There are actually state laws that prevent you from going to crowds and parties and things of that and parades and things. Those laws are still on the book. Those laws are still going to be enforced. There are folks who believe in that now. Oh, well, this law here supersedes that law. No, please read the law. You can always go to legislative laws. It's free. You can Google it in, go to those laws on the Title 14, 1418 at the use of force, and then you can go to 1495, and you can read those laws, and they'll educate you. And if you don't understand the interpretation, because sometimes the laws are not clearly defined, you can always reach out to your local DA or your ADA in your area or the Attorney General's office and have somebody clear that up for you.
Hey, Chief, you guys are going to do this a week from tomorrow, 2 sessions, right? It's about a little under 2 hours each session. What, 3:30 starts and then a 6 o'clock start time a week from tomorrow?
That is correct. 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. and also from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. If we got to go a little longer to make sure that everybody is covered, come right on in. There's 2 ways you can get in register for the class. You can go to Tiny, Tiny, URL.com. That's the biggest website right there that we have set up right now. And if you're not able to register, you can just come on in. We're not going to turn anybody away, man.
And it's what, General de Gaulle at Woodland, and where specifically on campus? The Morrow Center, Chief?
That is correct. We're going to be located at 4123 Woodland Drive. That's in Algiers on the west bank of New Orleans. And it's going to be in our Morrow Center. Either direction, lots of parking. And come on out, man. If you can get out here, come on out. We want to talk to you. We want to have a discussion and try to help you and educate you on the do's and don'ts and the purpose of the constitutional carry.
Yep. New gun carry law workshop at the University of Holy Cross on the West Bank, General de Gaulle at Woodland, next Thursday. 2 workshops, one at 3:30, one at 6. How can folks find out more again, Chief?
Hey, they can go to the website that we just put up, another website. It's going to be Tiny, TINYURL.com. And if you can't register for the class, you can also come here in person at 4123 Woodland Drive. It starts at 3:30. We get rolling. And there's another session that starts at 6 p.m. so we can catch those folks who are getting off from work.
University of Holy Cross Police Chief Marshall Pierre, thanks for joining us. And call us anytime. If you want to do it next week around this time, we can do it as a reminder.
Absolutely. Looking forward, Corey. Man, listen, I didn't put the name together. I just found out from a friend. This is the late Phil Johnson's son, man. boy, how lucky and honor am I to be talking to this gentleman.
that makes it sound a lot better. I like it the way you said that.
I appreciate the court, man. Looking forward to talking to you next week.
Thanks a lot, Chief. I should use that title more often, Corporal. That makes me sound a lot better. A little bigger. Look at my chest. I'm sticking it out a little bit.
Peacocking out a little bit.
Yep. We've had this conversation before. Just do my best every day, better tomorrow. But as far as, following the astronaut, the F-16 fighter pilot, I'm scared of planes, man. I don't know. That cockpit makes me nauseate. I could throw up. All kidding aside, I had a chance. My friend's like, you're an idiot. Had a chance to fly with like the Blue Angels, which I'm not an idiot. I'm smart. The pilots are little deviants is what they are. They're like, let's put a civilian in the cockpit and make them sick, make them throw up. And I'll talk with my fellow buddy pilots how the color of that guy was when he came out. And so-and-so had to go in there and clean up the cockpit and all that. I know how it works. I watch everybody come out of the, none of them are smiling. They're all like in a different color and they're all throwing up. And the pilots, they're thumbing each other up and smiling, like made that civilian throw up. So it was either that or have an Army, what's the paratrooper called? The Golden Knights, I think. The Army Golden Knight, basically just strapped on my back and we jump out of a plane and he pulls the chute. So I did that gimmick instead. I did some skydiving with a professional hook to my back instead of vomiting in the cockpit of a Blue Angel aircraft.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you. The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarque Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer. Yeah, you, right. Corey Johnson back at you. Yeah, choices. Choices. Get in the F-16. Well, what an F-16. Get in the old Blue Angel or paratroop out of a plane. I chose paratrooping. You want to know what sucked about the paratrooping part? Jumping out of the plane and going, I think you're doing about 120 miles an hour free falling at $120. On a 1 to 10 scale, that's about a 13. You know, it's an 11 plus. It's like, wow, this is once in a lifetime. When he pulled the chute and you're just floating down, not that like, hey, I've floated down from a few thousand feet a lot in my life. You sort of can you sort of know what that's about. It's like visiting LA or New York for the first time. It's like, I've seen so many movies and television of New York and LA. I almost felt like I've been here. No, I've never dropped out of a plane, but floating down sort of sucked. If you were just floating down like at an amusement park, they pulled you up and you floated down, you'd be like, what a great ride. But you weren't dropping at $120 a minute ago, 10 seconds earlier. So this rush of doing 120 miles an hour to almost the disappointment of floating down. I want to go, dude, let's do it again and don't pull the chute so quickly. He was being very cautious and safe. We floated down for a few minutes. Like, let's float down for about 10 seconds. Let's drop. The 120 miles an hour was a trip, just flying through the air. Just the view and it getting larger and larger, but then it went from an 11 to about a 5 with the floating down part. Anyway, I think I chose wisely. Would I like to fly an F-16? No doubt, but I have like equilibrium problem. I'm taking like judo 20 years ago, just doing little tumbles. I'm throwing up outside. I get on a boat out in the Gulf. I'm throwing up. I get seasick. My buddy had a teeter-totter thing. You go upside down. I did that for a little while. I was on the sofa for like 2 hours, just migraine type crap. So no, F-16, I'd be vomiting right away. And these pilots are getting off watching these civilians vomit. So I was like, I think I chose wisely. You got 2 choices. You got to choose wisely. Sometimes you don't choose any at all, Corporal. I remember I got called in Pelicans game at halftime. They're like, Corey Johnson, radio guy, can you come help us at halftime? I said, no problem. So I'll go in there and they wanted me to like go into like the center court spotlight on me. Hey, New Orleans, put your hands together, do like that gimmick. I'm just like, okay, that's not me. I mean, I could fake it and act that out, but I don't want to be introduced as Corey Johnson talk show host and then, hey, New Orleans, put your hands together. Let's go Pelicans, yeah, and start doing all that stuff like an FM DJ type of thing. So I was like, guys, y'all got the wrong guy. I'm a talk show host. I don't do that, that kind of crap, I didn't say that. I was like, I don't do that kind of, it isn't crap. I don't do that type of hype and promotion. It's just not me. I remember I was like emceeing an event with Eric Paulson. Paulson loves it. I was just capable of doing it. After like the first of like 100 introductions, I went to Eric. I was like, Eric, you do the rest. I don't need to be out here. I'm an anchor dragging you down. He's like, no problem. He did it all by himself. I walked off the stage, ceased to MC that thing because Paulson was electric and I was mediocre, you know? So anyway, I get to this halftime thing. They're like, you got to go do this. I'm like, I that's not me. We've made a mistake. I don't do that. It's going to be bad. I'm not going to get all excited and yell. You're looking for an FM DJ. I'm a talk radio host. So like, okay, the other choice is put on the big fat sumo wrestling outfit and go out and we're going to sumo wrestle you with someone, you know, the big blow up thing they put you in. I was like, no on that one too. So I was a very poor choice, I think, by the Hornets or Pelicans on that one. Oh gosh, it was either put your hands together for the Pelicans, yeah, let's do it, New Orleans, yeah, or the sumo thing, and I was just like, no and no, and they're like, it's one or the other, and I'm like, no, it's not. I'm doing neither. I wasn't cooperating too well. Wow. Hey, it is a wide open Wednesday. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480. I've got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate to give away. 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse can be yours. 766-9480. 766-9480. A former New Orleans council person whose child is a famous actor. Former New Orleans council person whose child is a famous actor. I could ask former New Orleans council person whose brother is a pretty famous actor. Might as well ask both. Former New Orleans city council person whose child is a famous actor. Former New Orleans council person whose brother is a pretty famous actor. The first one, I would say the former NOLA council person whose child is a famous actor. This is an A actor, like A-list actor. Kind of, you don't see this actor too much anymore, but up until and you still see this actor, but up a decade ago, back about 20 years, A-list. The former councilman whose brother is a famous actor, he's probably like, I guess like a B actor. I'd say a B. Not A-list actor, a B-list actor, but known in major parts, major roles, still doing it today. Both of them still acting today. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. You got the answer to either one of those questions. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 5 Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Canal Street at Carrollton in Mid-City. So plush, so luxurious. You think it's a private club. Open for everybody. Everyone's welcome at the Woodhouse. They're in Metairie near North Kenner. Transcontinental at West Esplanade. They're in Mandeville, about 60 seconds from Trayen, East Causeway approach, right across from Mandeville City Hall. They're in Slidell, about a minute off the I-10 Gauze exit. And they're in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. 5 Woodhouse Day Spa locations. You can check them out online, print your own gift certificate for her, book an appointment for her. WoodhouseSpas.com. WoodhouseSpas.com. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Let's head to the metropolis known as Metairie, a.k.a. New Orleans West, home of traffic. Lots and lots of traffic. Sean joins us in Metairie.
Hey, yeah, it only took me 5 minutes to get home.
What's that?
Jackie Clarkson is the councilman with the A-list.
Who's Jackie's child?
I don't remember her name, but I remember she was an actor. I remember they made one of the news stations made a fuss over.
Can you give me like what was the first thing? How would you describe her? First thing that would jump out.
She was a nice lady.
Not redhead. That wouldn't jump out first.
I don't remember her name. I don't watch many movies.
No. She's a redhead. I was saying. Jackie Clarkson's daughter.
Redhead.
Yeah,
she looks like Ariel.
yeah, Patricia Clarkson.
Yes.
I guess. What would be her most famous role? The wife of Elliot Ness in The Untouchables, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember the role. I don't know the role she played. I just remember that she was very proud of her daughter, and she voiced it.
Yeah, no. Patricia Clarkson's done a lot of stuff. She's won a lot of awards. She's. I guess that's New Orleans' most famous actor.
No, I'd give it to Wendell Pierce or John Goodman.
John Goodman, I think would edge out Wendell Pierce a little bit. Just roles and.
You want total local yokel?
Yeah,
Wendell Pierce.
Yeah. Look, he's total low, but I would think Patricia Clarkson's bigger than Wendell Pierce.
Yeah.
More awards. She's kind of A. I think Wendell Pierce is like B's. Like Goodman's sort of, I don't know, A-, B-ish.
Yeah.
You know, the Goodman and Wendell Pierce aren't leading men. They're not, Patricia Clarkson's,
Wendell Pierce has played some big roles. He was on was it Netflix or Prime?
There's no doubt. Same with John Goodman, but they're never the star of the show.
No. Well,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, Patricia Clarkson's been like the star, the person next to the star. I think, Goodman and Wendell Pierce would never get Best Actor. They'd get Best Supporting Actor.
True.
That kind of thing. Anyway, no, you're right on the money, Sean. Jackie Clarkson's daughter.
I don't know the other one.
What's that? You know the answer to the other one too? Is that what you're saying? Uh-oh. Did we lose Sean? All right, Sean, you'll have to dial us back because we don't know who you are and we can't give you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. I don't know, Corporal, would Jackie Clarkson be the biggest actor from New Orleans? And then like a Wendell Pierce, I'd put John Goodman next, then maybe Wendell Pierce. We're probably missing some that we're just not thinking
Patricia
about.
Clarkson's been in a lot of really, really big movies.
Exactly.
Even when she's not leading role, she's been in a lot of very big movies.
Yep. She would probably still be Best Supporting Actress. I don't know if she's ever had like the lead in something, but she's been like second or third name,
Yes. She's had like prime billing.
I think Goodman's like, more fourth, fifth, sixth name. Wendell Pierce, more fourth, fifth, sixth name, that kind of thing. The only reason I know this stuff a little bit, my brother's an actor. He's like a
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and
Coming right
Bienvenue in
back.
Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
You right, Crescent City and beyond. All right, the corporal and I have come up with, old school Patricia Clarkson's probably number one. New school Anthony Mackie is number one. That's New Orleans' biggest actor. Patricia, I think it's a tie. Yesteryear, it's Patricia Clarkson. And today it's Anthony Mackie. And then John Goodman would be kind of a standalone at number 2. Or I guess it would be 3. There's no number 2. They'd be tied for first, Patricia Clarkson and Anthony Mackie. John Goodman, and then followed by Wendell Pierce. And then it's sort of a crapshoot after that. My bro was on the list. You saw that? Corey Johnson, Corey. He's John Johnson. He goes to get his Actors Guild card. He fires out like 100 variables of his name. They're all taken. His name's John Johnson. It's like Frank Smith, It's common. His middle name's William. So John W. Johnson taken, John William Johnson taken, Will Johnson taken, J. William Johnson taken, J. Will Johnson taken, J.W. Johnson taken, just on and on and on. He's like, Christ, Corey. Oh, that's available. It's like, oh, okay, go with Corey, Corey. And it does get confusing because when I'm around his acting buddies, they're calling him Corey. And I'm like, I'm the real one, and I've made no money off of this. Hoping to get famous. I'll sue him, lose a brother, but get a lot of money. I think it's a good trade. Lose my brother and get lots of cash. But he'd have to become famous. Right now, I love him still. He's my brother because he's like a C or D actor. He's got a lot of roles. Just I'll watch something, he'll be in it. I'm watching like a Hitler thing, and he did the narration. He does like Nat Geo, History Channel, all that. He does, voiceover stuff. And I watched like 30 minutes of it. And I'm like falling asleep and the credits are coming up. Narration, Corey Johnson. I'm like, what? So I rewind. I'm like, oh, that is my brother. Damn. Didn't even notice because it was so well written and it was so enthralling and I didn't even notice. No, and I'll watch a movie and it'll pop up. I'm watching, what is that? What are the X-Men? I guess when they were like gathering them all together.
The 20th Century Fox, X-Men, that one.
No, the movie where the one girl was like a bug. One guy, could, get in your mind.
Oh.
Fassbender. He put the coin. He put the coin through
First Class.
First Class. He put the coin through your boy's head. The German coin through who's that actor? I forget his name. The popular actor, Jeez and Pete's. Married to Sedgwick, I think. Kevin Bacon, right? Wasn't that Bacon? Had the coin go through his head? I want to
say it was.
Wasn't it Bacon with the coin through his head? Anyway, my brother was, when they were recruiting the X-Men, they had one guy like who was in a cell, and my brother had on like a black and white, like, CIA looking suit. And he opens up the cell and says, this guy, likes solitary confinement more than being around people or something. That was like his whole line for the movie, So I'm like, oh, wow, he's an X-Men. I like text him. I didn't know you were an X-Men. I rewound and shot the little scene. He's like, yeah, I did that, blah, blah, blah. Didn't even know. So that kind of stuff pops up. But those are his roles. Hey, can I get you guys a drink? He was in the first 2 Bourne Ultimatums. He was like the CIA's second in command. Get that zip code, just stuff like that. Quick lines. He was the doctor at the concentration camps in Band of Brothers, parts 9 and 10. Hey, don't feed them. Don't give them any water. That you'll kill them. He's like the army doctor that showed up. He was on the beach in Saving Private Ryan with Tom Hanks. When Tom Hanks is talking to the radio guy, that's my brother, says something to him. And the third time he says something to him, his face is just a hole, just blown up. Anyway, he's that guy. What can I get you guys? What are y'all drinking? But, he does it for a living. Doesn't wait tables, and he does voiceover stuff. So, yeah, I'd say he's like a C or D actor. Anyway, good job. Former New Orleans council person whose child was a famous actor, Jackie Clarkson's daughter, Patricia Clarkson. Former New Orleans council person whose brother is a famous actor. I would say a B actor. If my brother is C to D, this guy's B. Like we're saying, I guess John Goodman is like a B plus. Maybe was an A minus, sometimes a B plus. Wendell Pierce is like a B plus. Clarkson and Mackey are A list. My brother's like a C or a D. This guy's like a B. He's below Goodman and Wendell Pierce. He might be next in line, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. Wow, GQ on the North Shore emailing us, Corey at Corey Talks. Nailing it. You got both answers. Got both answers. 766-9480. I picked up some Lebanon's Cafe today for lunch. My usual chicken shawarma, some tabbouleh on the side, a fried kibbe, which is like a fried meat pie. Fantastic. Not oily or greasy at all. The opposite. You'd think the thing's baked. You could roll it around on like a piece of brown paper and there'd be no spot of oil or anything. Really fantastic. Healthy, large portions, authentic, priced right, fresh. Gotta love Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food in Metro New Orleans. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. They open every day at 11 a.m. and they roll straight through till 9:30. Open till 9:30 tonight. Lebanon's Cafe. Yummy. That was a good lunch. And such large portions. I've got like half my chicken shawarma left, some tabbouleh left, and I've got probably like about 6 pieces of pita bread. Heat up that pita bread, get a little olive oil on a plate with some cracked pepper, little salt. That's some good Middle Eastern dining. What's that, Blue Boy? 5 o'clock power hours next. You are correct. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. That's what he does. Such a good boy. Boy, I saw Margaret Orr got a new border collie, Sky, little puppy dog. She's happy again. I know she misses Blue, her little border collie who passed a few
You're
weeks
on
back.
the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home. Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades. On Jefferson Highway, across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LeBar by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. And we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us steer you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Just a mess. Bourbon Street's a mess, Corporal. Yeah, I think the last time, I've been to Bourbon Street like 20 times in the last 20 years, maybe. I think we had like a reunion at, I want to say it was called like Sizzler Steakhouse, but not like the chain. I think it's called Sizzler. I don't know if it's still there or not. Just some like, I don't even know if it's a touristy place.
I wouldn't know. I avoid Bourbon Street.
I was just telling you, I'm like, what do you think? I go on it because it's a good gimmick. I'll dog Bourbon Street, but I'm down there all the time. Bourbon Street's a toilet. No, there's a reason locals don't. Literally, it's a gutter. It's worthless. Daiquiri shops, trinket stores, strip joints, prostitution, drugs, stinks. It literally smells bad. It's crappy. It's lowest common denominator. It's pathetic. It's an embarrassment for New Orleans. It's the French Quarter. It's the main drag, and we allow it to be a drag. Just a big bummer. It should be just a money generator for the city. It should be where the rich and wealthy, affluent tourists go. And then the locals go when we get to play that game. When you're on vacation, you're rich. You're wealthy when you're on vacation for those few days. You're not slumming on the vacation. I don't. Why would I go? I don't go. I go as often as I can, and when I go, I'm living like I'm rich for that 3 days, Go down to the Quarter. You're going to go to a nice restaurant, good jazz club. You live like you're a tourist. Who wants to go down to Bourbon Street? Sucks. No, that was a bummer for like a class reunion. We're like, why would y'all plan this here? Let's go somewhere else, a nicer restaurant, someplace that's easier in and out. I went to Pat Metheny, a jazz guitarist. He was playing like 6 months ago. A buddy and I went. We wanted to get dinner. We went to Galatoire's because we both have some connections there. One of the managers, it's his high school buddy. They graduated together from high school. So we knew we could get in there, and we did. We got a table by the bar. They served us quick. We didn't miss the concert. In and out fast. Yeah, I don't want to go to Bourbon Street. It would have to be like Galatoire's or Dickie Brennan's Bourbon House or going to Acme or Felix's or something like that. I mean, Bourbon Street just sucks. Someone's got to broach that subject, some mover and shaker. We have to reimagine Bourbon Street after this Super Bowl. Fade out the daiquiri shops, fade out the trinket stores, fade out the strip joints. Reimagine it. Make it a plus, not a negative. The real simple goal objective is when it becomes a place where we locals would actually want to go. And then you've accomplished the goal. Because then tourists would want to, I shouldn't say then tourists would want to go. It draws tourists all the time. Just the lowest common denominator, not spending any money. And a lot of cash money. So not a lot of taxes being collected off of Bourbon Street. It's a loser in every way. There's not a single benefit to Bourbon Street for New Orleans. It is a loser across the board. All right, let's move on. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. 5 o'clock power hour coming your way. Thanks so much for checking us out on the radio, on television, on YouTube. If you go to CoreyTalks.com, Corey spelled K-A-A-R-E, CoreyTalks.com, has all the ways to check out the program: radio, TV, YouTube, live streaming, all of that. CoreyTalks.com. 5 o'clock Power Hour on a wide open Wednesday, brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating. Hey, Baton Rouge. Hey, Capital City. Helm Paint and Decorating's in Tigertown. That means you too can experience the professionals at Helm. When it's time to paint Baton Rouge, you no longer have to go to some big box store or a national chain paint store. You can go to the local guys out of New Orleans. Been taking care of us for 55 plus years. 7 locations in New Orleans: East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. Benjamin Moore Paint, free 2-hour delivery. You can't beat Helm Paint and Decorating. Now in the capital city, Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating, 4 locations: Highland Road, Perkins Road, Jones Creek Road, Choctaw. Free 2-hour delivery of those Benjamin Moore paints in Baton Rouge. That means West Baton Rouge, like Bruley and Port Allen. That means east of the city, like Prairieville, even Gonzales. That's right, Gonzales. Free 2-hour delivery from Helm Paint and Decorating in Baton Rouge. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans, when you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating, now in Baton Rouge. Yeah, I painted my house about 2 years ago. I used Regal Select from Helm, Benjamin Moore, lifetime warranty. I'll literally never have to paint my house again. But because it's Helm Paint and Decorating, and I'm getting that high quality lifetime paint for pennies on the dollar compared to these so-called coatings you're hearing about. It's nothing about these coatings that's different. It's an elastomeric paint. You can get that, probably a higher quality elastomeric from Helm. It'd be Benjamin Moore elastomeric. No, it's just any painting professional would tell you it's overkill. 99% of any home or business applications do not need elastomeric paint. But you can get a lifetime paint like I did, pennies on the dollar, painting my house. So if in a decade or so I want to change the color, I can. It's affordable at Helm Paint and Decorating. Now, those coating companies, the world's most expensive home painting companies, that's what they are. When the commercial says more affordable than you think, that means it's expensive as hell. I love the commercial. There's a local talk show host who says the first 4 letters in the word paint or pain, talking about every few years you're painting your house. Who paints their house every few years? Just beyond embellishment and exaggeration, like really like lying. I say the last 4 letters of the word paint are ain't. Like it ain't a good idea to go with one of these expensive, unnecessary coating companies. Hey, Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating. New Orleans, we know, Helm Paint and Decorating. Wide open Wednesday, 5 o'clock powwow, brought to you by Helm Paint and Decorating. Oliver Thomas joined us yesterday. It was significant. He said he's going to decide by the new year, probably early January, if he's running for mayor or not, and he's running for mayor. There would have to be something unforeseen. If you go to my YouTube or Twitter, YouTube or Twitter, at Corey Johnson, you'll see these clips from yesterday that we posted. No, I'll make a decision by the new year. All signs are leading to him running. You just got to hear the comment. You'll be like, he's running. He is unofficially running for mayor. He says if he were to win, his administration would be very diverse. Black, white, Republican, Democrat. I even doubled down on that with him, and you can hear the clip. I'm like, these extreme black political groups that are very divisive, us versus them, always race injected, bold, life, soul, coup, these acronym political groups, just a bunch of jokers, divisive, racist, nothing benefiting the black community, just these few that are part of these groups, like the Sherman Copeland types. Jacques Morial, Bill Jefferson. These are the people behind Bold Life, Soul, Coup. I said, these folks expect if you become mayor, you're going to have a lot of hyper liberal and black folks all over your administration and no conservatives or Republicans and very few white people. And if they are white, they better be hyper liberal. And Oliver Thomas was basically saying, you can hear the clip. He's like, He didn't say this, but essentially, like, the hell with Bold Life, Soul, and Coup. They're not coming after me. I don't want them. I don't care about them. Not interested in that. My administration's going to be diverse, not a blackout, not all black, to appease Bold Life, Soul, and Coup, extreme black folks in the city. I like hearing that. Well, we need a gumbo coalition. You know, Jeff Landry, my advice to him would be bring on some liberal Democrats in your administration. That's not going to happen. Very one-sided. But that would be my advice. The best of both worlds. I was suggesting, because New Orleans just lacks any Republican conservative anywhere in local government, that make 25%, 1 out of 4 of your administration, any appointees, anyone you appoint, make them conservative Republican, 1 out of 4, at least 25%. Oliver Thomas seemed keen on that idea, getting the best of the best and dissing, basically saying the hell with Bold Life, Soul, and Coup. Hopefully he sticks by it. Talk is cheap. Walking the walk's a lot tougher. Hopefully Oliver Thomas does that. He also said he would get rid of the traffic cameras right away. He said exactly what they are, what I think and what you think. A cheesy money grab. Have zero to do with safety. Zero. Hey, New Orleans, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant located right here in New Orleans, is hiring dozens and dozens and dozens of jobs for you at Latrim.com. For a full listing of positions available, change your life. Go to Latrim.com. A job, a career. Latrim.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at Rouse's.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Clean. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River Cities, total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Hey, I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate to give away. We gave away one. Former New Orleans City Council person whose child is a famous actor. And I was saying this, probably one of the most famous in New Orleans, A-list. Jackie Clarkson's daughter, Patricia Clarkson, at least unofficially on the neutral ground, the corporal and I during a break. So we really put a lot of time and effort into this. It was during a break. We've come, I mean, not that this needs a lot of time and effort. We've kind of said there are like an old school number one actor out of New Orleans. It'd be Patricia Clarkson. Today, it's Anthony Mackie. He's the A-list guy. Patricia Clarkson, A-list. Anthony Mackie, A-list. I don't know if there are any other A-list people. People want to say like John Goodman or Wendell Pierce. John Goodman may have been like A-ish. You know, A+ is like Tom Hanks, Al Pacino, De Niro. Patricia Clarkson and Anthony Mackie are like A-list actors. They get millions of dollars when they do a part. Millions. John Goodman, I don't know if he gets millions of dollars, or Wendell Pierce, millions of dollars. I would say John Goodman at one point may have been like an A-, really like a B+. Wendell Pierce like a B+. They're B actors, not an A-list. I'm not dogging them. They're not leading men. They don't get those roles. So we were kind of saying like Jackie Clarkson's the biggest actor, old school. Anthony Mackie is the biggest actor present day in New Orleans. They're A-listers. Then we kind of had third would be John Goodman. Fourth would be Wendell Pierce. So the former New Orleans council person whose child is a famous A-list actor, that's Jackie Clarkson's daughter, Patricia. There's a former New Orleans council person whose brother is a famous actor. I would put this guy at like a B- C level actor. He gets big roles. He's been in some big stuff. He's done Broadway. He's been in some movies and some big television shows. He was in a popular television show for years with a pretty big role, like top half dozen person on that show. But he's not a leading man. He's not an A-list actor. He's really not as big as John Goodman or Wendell Pierce. Not as known as John Goodman for sure. Not as known as Wendell Pierce. But he's known. I think people that know acting know him. New Orleanians might know him. Anyway, former New Orleans City Council person's brother, who is a famous actor. I would say like C actor, C+, B-. And then I gave another example. My brother, he's like a C or D actor. He has lines in big movies. He has lines and parts in big movies. He was in The Mummy 20 years ago as one of the three Americans. He had lines in that. Saving Private Ryan, right next to Tom Hanks. Band of Brothers, Bourne Ultimatum. Last couple of episodes, 9 and 10, Band of Brothers. I mean, just a lot of different stuff. But it's, you know, X-Men. He's like Hey, what are you guys drinking? He's the bartender. Hey, you remember the bartender? What are you guys drinking? Hey, get out of the bar. Quit fighting. That was my brother. He has lines, a few lines in some movies. So he's like a D actor, I guess. We're looking for the former council person whose brother is a famous actor. I'm saying like B- C-ish. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. I'll give you a hint. His last name, 4 letters only. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. 766-9480. The Democratic National Convention is a bore. I mean, I'm waiting for like the big speakers, and I left and I came back and like Michelle Obama was on. I watched for about a minute and I changed the channel. I came back, Barack Obama was on. I watched for a minute or two and I changed the channel. It's the exact same thing I did during the Republican convention. I'd wait for the big speaker. They'd start speaking. I'd get bored within a minute or two and change the channel. I'm just, politics is like a necessary evil. I'm not into it. I don't like it. It's very divisive. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a Republican, so I don't, that isn't my crew, neither convention. I don't like, it's not like I don't associate with those people. I don't, when they're in those groups, it's, Corporal, it's like uptown New Orleans. I can get along with a couple of those guys, put them all together in some big group, and I just do not belong in that group. 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 1-on-3, I'm fine. I love them. All together doing their thing, it's just not my thing. Dude, I'm not pleasable. I don't know what it is. I told my buddy, I'm like, Lakewood, dude. Too many blue-collar trout dudes out here just don't care. Just parking the cart by the green, taking big divots and not filling it in with sand, not raking the trap, not fixing ball marks. And then I'm like, New Orleans Country Club, too blue blood. From blue collar to blue blood. I'm like, I can't associate with either side. Like, who makes you happy, Corey? I don't know. One's just too cheesy and doesn't give a crap, and one's too snobby for me. I don't know. I don't want to disparage people. I'll disparage the Lakewood people. Man, you got to fix divots and ball marks and rake your trap. Leave the course like you found it. The club champion out there rides his cart up by the green. That's oxymoronic, It's like the military guy burning the flag in his uniform and staying in the military all the time. It's oxymoronic. It doesn't jive. It's crazy. Club champion doesn't fix ball marks, parks the cart by the green. No, my buddies laugh. They're like, dude, you don't like the blue collar people. You don't like the blue blood people. What is it? My buddy's like a diamond head guy. I'm like, dude, these are like 60-year-old men. The cart's $20,000, and then they wrapped it in a university they never attended. Auburn, Alabama, LSU. It's like jacked up carts that do 35. I'm at Diamond Head. I'm like, man, what's going on around here, man? I'll go in the club. Nice people. I meet some. They're nice. I'm just like, as a group together, I don't want to have anything to do with Diamond Head. I play golf out there all the time. I just mean I'm not 70 and retired either, just a different bag. So anyway, I'm unpleasable apparently, Corporal. You want to know the crazy thing is I love people. I love people. I love talking with people. I love my friends and acquaintances. I love this one group that first time in my life, I have a group of people that I hang out with that I had nothing to do with except this one thing we all have in common, like going to the gym kind of thing. Like some not like go to the hunting camp with guys and dog the wives or go 10 dudes fishing for 3 days. I'm not against any of that. That's just not me. I just don't do that. So anyway, yeah. Blue collar, blue blood. I don't want to have much to do with any of that. I'm not a member of any clubs. I don't know, Corporal. I'm pretty content. I'm happy. I'm lucky. I got friends and acquaintances and lots of family. I just never gravitated towards any of that stuff. I don't know why. Not in any Mardi Gras organizations. Just too much obligation. You know, I don't want to do something once a month with Zulu or Rex or Endymion, or I just don't. That's just me. I don't want to have that obligation once a month to go do something with the Mardi Gras folks. And I don't want to be a member of some club, which usually it's one group, kind of. It's all this or all that or something. And I don't know. Whatever. Corey Johnson with you. Wide open Wednesday edition of the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 766-9480. Hey, television audience, it's about to be straight down 5:30. We say adios until 4 p.m. tomorrow. You continue listening at 93.9 FM. You can continue listening and watching on our YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground, with me on YouTube. Every day we're on radio for 2 hours, 4 to 6. We're on YouTube from 4 to 6. We're on TV statewide, 4 to 5:30. Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333. That's part of the Charter family. Yesterday, Oliver Thomas joined us on the show. He said he's going to decide by the end of the year, by January, if he's running for mayor or not. And if you listen to the clips I posted on my YouTube channel, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube, or on my Twitter at Corey Johnson, you can tell Oliver Thomas is running for mayor. He's running. All signs lead to him running. Something unforeseen would have to pop up for him not to run. This was really interesting because New Orleans is dysfunctional. Oliver had his plan 2025. I thought there were a lot of things missing. I told him, I got a little mayoral plan too I whipped together just like you did. I'm going to forward it to you. But one of the points that I had on my plan was New Orleans has not a conservative or Republican voice anywhere to be seen. At least 25% of your appointees, your administration is Republican conservative. 1 out of 4, for crying out loud. It would still be 3-1 Democrat, but 1 out of 4, at least some alternative view. And Oliver Thomas seemed accepting of that. He liked that idea. And I took it a step further and was like, Bold, Life, Soul, Coup, these acronym groups in New Orleans, these extreme black groups, they're extreme. It's always us versus them. I'll never forget the old, guy in the igloo when you leave the Jazz Fest, McKinney, the famous black DJ and voiceover guy. Taxi cabs to the right. Thanks for attending Jazz Fest 2024. Catch taxis to the right. One day I pick up my phone and it's his voice recorded. He obviously paid him to do it. Ray Reagan, he's a white man in black skin. You're going to vote Ray Reagan? Like Ronald Ray. They were making Ray Nagin into Ray Reagan. And it was McKinney. Taxi cabs to the left. Thanks for attending Jazz Fest. Ray Reagan, he's a black man. He's a white man in black skin. I was like, wow, is that really the recording I just heard? Anyway, no, New Orleans has always been this hyper woke liberal Democrat. In my lifetime, a lot black. I mean, it flip-flopped. It was racist white, black folks, segregated, keeping them from voting, all that crap. And then finally, Moon Landrieu and that era, the 70s into the 80s, Dutch Morial, and it kind of flip-flopped. It went from like a whiteout to like all black. And like if you're black and in power and you're not bringing in black people or hyper-liberal white folks that are into the black message, then you're a sellout. And New Orleans has suffered for that. Louisiana suffered. We're the opposite in Louisiana, all red. Republican. And I'm not talking just today. Super majority in the Senate House and Jeff Landry is governor. Historically speaking, the last few decades, Louisiana has primarily been run by Republican governors, or if it's a Democrat, it's a Republican Senate or House. The state is red. New Orleans is Democrat, is blue. And it's a bummer because they're pretty much exclusively that. And when you have that, you have Louisiana and New Orleans failing versus the competition. Louisiana is last in the South in the region, and New Orleans as a city is last in the South in a region. It's because we keep doing this one-sided crap, hell-bent on the Republicans have all the answers, the Democrats have all the answers. Where I think most folks, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, whatever, want a little bit of both. Want a little bit of both. So I talked to Oliver Thomas about that. This all-Democrat thing sucks, and it's driving New Orleans into the crapper. Are you going to diversify and bring in, the best available, black, white, gay, straight, Republican, Democrat? And most importantly, some conservative Republicans in your administration, because there are none to be seen anywhere in New Orleans city government. And if you don't think that's a problem, I think you have a problem. Seriously. Just like you folks in Louisiana that don't want, I say Jeff Landry should have some liberal Democrats on his staff, his administration, to get an alternative view, just to get the different viewpoint. I always said if I was running for president, or not if I were running, I would put like Rand and your boy from Vermont, Bernie Sanders, because they're both sort of extreme. I'd have them on my administration, the tail end. I'd have my 8 or 10 people, men, women, gay, straight, black, white, Republican, Democrat that I listen to. But I'd have Rand and Bernie Sanders there too, just to hear what Rand's view is on this and what Bernie Sanders' view is on this particular thing. Just because I don't think they're stupid. I think they're both intelligent. They just have hardcore alternative views. Bernie Sanders is kind of part socialist and doesn't think that's a problem. And Rand is a hardcore pure libertarian and doesn't think that's a problem. So they have, but they're smart, and I'd like to hear their viewpoint on those things. So diversity and getting different points of view and taking that in and weighing things out, that's how you win. That's how you move forward. New Orleans has hyper woke liberal Democrats exclusively in government. No, and I pushed Oliver Thomas on that. These extreme groups that divide, Bold Life, Soul Coup, the Bill Jefferson, Mark Morial, Jacques Morial, Sherman Copeland, Johnny Jackson crap. Are you going to, those folks don't want to hear about diverse administration, bringing in Republicans and white people and gay people and diversity. They want all black, or if there are any whites, they better be hyper liberal. Bold Life, Soul, and Coup, these acronym groups. Oliver Thomas, check out the cuts. He's basically like, screw them. I'm not seeking their endorsement. I don't want their endorsement. And I'm going to have a diversified administration. Talk is cheap. A lot of politicians promise things. Oliver Thomas says he becomes mayor, he would get rid of the traffic cameras. So did LaToya Cantrell. Said she'd get rid of the traffic cameras. Then reneged on that and pulled some lame excuses. So talk is cheap. We'll see. The DNC, Democratic National Convention, one of their big messages, I don't know how you embrace this nationally, but locally you don't. Don't elect a felon. Don't elect Donald Trump. He's a convicted felon, 34 counts. How are you going to elect a felon? Just repeating this over and over again. Oliver Thomas is a convicted felon. This is America, second chances, all that stuff. But you can't be, I don't know, you can be anything you want. People are hypocrites. They say something on Monday, the exact opposite on Friday. They say something one day, they got to get out of an argument or situation. The next day, they say the opposite. I hear it on local talk radio with some of these lightweight DJ types. Don't even know what they stand for, just flinging stuff out there. No, you're going to stand by what you say, or you're going to contradict yourself. And when you're like, Trump is a convicted felon, then I guess you're not voting for Oliver Thomas because he's a convicted felon, right? Or is it, no, but here the exception, I was watching Bill Maher's Religulous movie, and he just makes fun of religion. And I don't take offense to it. I know my faith. I'm confident in it. I don't care what Bill Maher says. But he's talking to these extreme Muslim types And they literally, I mean, two of them, this man and this woman, separate interviews, and they're both basically saying, like, you can't do that. And then they go, but we can, because you got to understand the situation. There are exceptions. No, you don't understand. Like that kind of thing. And it's just like, so it's good for the goose, but not good for the gander, whatever. It was just pretty amazing. Just how hell-bent they were and locked in on how they were thinking that it's, generally speaking, you can't do it, but we can do it. We can do it. Trump, don't elect a felon. But in New Orleans, I'm going to vote for Oliver Thomas. I mean, if you say don't elect a felon, then it has to work both ways, right? And if you don't care if it's a felon, you're voting for Trump, I guess you could vote for Oliver Thomas, whatever. I think that's definitely going to deter some voters. There's no doubt about it. I've had Oliver Thomas on the show many times. I asked him about that bribe. Said it was a one-time thing. I said, Oliver, if I had a son, and I caught him in the liquor cab, and he's like, Dad, it was the first time. I'd say, son, I want to believe you. Maybe I do believe you. But as a parent, I've got to assume you're lying, and it's the 20th time. So I've got to punish you accordingly. And I hope you understand that. And I told Oliver Thomas, I said, I'd love to believe you, Oliver, but I've got to think that wasn't the only time. And I think that, generally speaking, would be safe to say. And then there was something that I mentioned Oliver Thomas a while back too, and I'll bring it up again with him. Karen Carter Peterson did the same thing. And I think it's just very, very wrong. Take responsibility for your actions. Don't blame it on something else. And this gambling addiction crap, Oliver Thomas mentioned like a gambling addiction, and that made him kind of do the thing with Pampy Barre to get the 15 grand. Karen Carter Peterson mentioned this gambling addiction. That's why she was taking cash from the Democratic National Party and from her from the state party and from her from her campaign, funneling it through old Banks's brother, Graylin Banks, and his BS advertising firm. Never any proof of them ever doing anything. Those guys are lucky the FBI didn't go after them. I don't know why the FBI didn't go after them. I guess too small a fish. I don't know what it is, but crime nonetheless. No, you use this gambling thing. It makes it like, okay, I stole money. I'm a criminal. But I had this addiction, like it was beyond my control, almost like it's an excuse that you stole the money. Like it lets you off the hook. It lessens the crime. I stole the money and I went and bought it. I was the trumpeter loser. What's that loser's name? Stole the money from the public school system. That idiot. That's just blatant theft. That's just blatant theft. But so he's a criminal. Any clue? I'm going blank on that jerk's name, but I want to say it because he's such an idiot, and he's a criminal. Stole from the New Orleans.
Irvin Mayfield.
Irvin Mayfield. Thank you. Yeah, that criminal. What'd you do? Just stole from New Orleans Public Library, and that's what came up.
Trumpeter steals public school money.
Yeah, that's his legacy. That's Irvin Mayfield's legacy right there. No, he stole it and lived high on the hog and was just overt about it. Karen Carter Peterson and Oliver Thomas took the money for whatever reason, but to come up with a, quote, excuse that gambling caused it, and it's like it's an addiction, like it's beyond their control. Like the real me didn't do it. This addiction took hold of me and it turned me into a person. The addiction did it. And it's a lame excuse. And I don't like that stuff. You're an adult. Take responsibility for your actions, be it an addiction or whatever. I stole from the old lady, knocked her down and stole her purse. I have a heroin addiction. So that's lesser than if I was sober and knocked the old lady down and stole her purse. I mean, I get it. I understand there's an addiction and whatever, but you're an adult. You have to take responsibility for that kind of stuff. I just thought that was lame. It's like, I'm not a criminal. This addiction, this thing took hold of me. I don't know. That goes in the no bueno, not cool category. You want to know what goes in the muy bueno, very cool category? Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home, Rouse's. It is home. It's got all the local stuff you want. It's got the national, international stuff. The Rouse's labeled stuff like that extra virgin olive oil I get from Italy, fantastic. A buddy of mine's got a ceramic grill, the Komodo Joe. Some of you might have the Big Green Egg or a Primo. You use that lump charcoal. He's been using Rouse's labeled, Rouse's brand lump charcoal. I'll just tell you this. It's less than $1 a pound. All you ceramic lump charcoal users, you know everything you buy is $1 plus a pound. Some of it's $2 a pound or more. Lump charcoal, less than $1 a pound with the Rouse's brand, the Rouse's label. I can go on and on and on with this. Best quality, best price, best selection, Rouse's Markets.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarque Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Come experience the best smoothies in the metro area at Smoothie King. Jay and his father have been Smoothie King franchisees for decades on Jefferson Highway across from Oxnard, on Airline Highway at LaBarre by Causeway. Smoothie King.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, insagency.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer. It's still summertime in August. It was nice today. Low humidity this morning. Really nice. Early. I mean, the humidity was low. It was like 70-something. Incredible. I haven't seen 70-something unless it's like overcast and raining in New Orleans in a few months. So it was really nice this morning with that lower humidity, but it's still hot as can be. If you need air conditioning help, Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys at Total Maintenance are there for you. They're honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. I know I kind of rinse and repeat this every day, but honestly, no pun intended, what else do you need in an air conditioning outfit, huh? Honesty. I don't want to learn air conditioning. AC experts, they diagnose it right the first time. They come immediately because your AC's not working right, or worse, not working at all. Total Maintenance in New Orleans, NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. You need air conditioning help? East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, NOLAAC.com. In Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance. TM-AC.com. In Baton Rouge, TM-AC.com. If you ever need air conditioning help. Yeah, it's Fair and Honest Lucas and the boys at Total Maintenance. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto Total Maintenance Studio. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you're right. 5 o'clock power hour on a wide open Wednesday. I still have a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate available. We asked which former, or it was a former council member whose child was a famous A-list actor. And it was Jackie Clarkson, Patricia Clarkson, the A-list actor. What former, or I'm not really interested in the former council person, but the last name will be the same. A former New Orleans council person's brother is a famous actor. If Patricia Clarkson is A-list like Anthony Mackie, and let's say John Goodman's like A-, B+, Wendell Davis like B+, this guy's probably a C actor. If John Goodman's like a B+, Wendell Pierce is like a B+, Anthony Mackie's an A-list, and Jackie Clarkson's A-list, this guy's like a C actor. But he's known. He does a lot of Broadway. He was on a television show, big role for years. I'll give you a hint. His last name is a 4-letter last name, 4 letters to the last name. 766-9480 is the phone number. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse. Oliver Thomas, yesterday joining us on the show. He says he's going to decide by January if he's going to run for mayor. He's running. You can hear it in the clips. Go to my YouTube channel to listen. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Got the clips cut up for you so you don't have to listen to the whole show. Or on Twitter, at Corey Johnson. He mentions Bold Life Soul Coup, not interested in those extreme black political groups. They just want to control you. Admits all this, has no interest in it. I'm loving it. Wants a diverse staff. That's what he says, at least. Republicans, Democrats, black and white, gay, straight, the best. and then says he'll get rid of the traffic cameras. That was Oliver Thomas on the program yesterday. Hey, I'm not endorsing Oliver Thomas. I have no idea who I'm voting for. I see some stuff on Twitter. Corey's friendly with Oliver Thomas. I am friendly with him. We're not friends. I don't call him. We don't do things together. We don't have mutual friends. What hooked me to Oliver Thomas, I'm going to tell you why if there's any lean of me liking Oliver Thomas, and when I'm on this show, I try to be fair and objective, and I don't try to have any kind of lean. Oliver Thomas told me 25 years ago, my dad loves your show. My dad loves your show. And every time I'd see him, he'd bring up his dad and what I was saying and what his dad thought, and just always complimentary. And I'm thinking about this elderly black gentleman who went through segregation, went through a crappy time in New Orleans, looks at this young white guy and likes him. This 70, 80, 90-year-old black man's looking at me going, I like this guy. I like what he has to say. You can look at it however you want. I'm an independent. You can think I'm liberal. You can think I'm conservative. A lot of people think a lot of different things. The best compliments I get as a New Orleanian in this city is from black men mostly that, dude, you tell it like it is. I don't agree with everything you say. I mean, that's a compliment. I mean, most of these guys are Democrat, liberal, generally speaking. And I'm this white guy, the skids were pretty greased for me, middle class, went to decent schools, have a tight family, no divorced parents, a village raising me, the neighborhood, grandparents, all older brothers and sisters. I'm fortunate. I'm lucky. I don't deny it. So when this, inner city black guy that grew up much different from me, had it much harder, the skids weren't greased at all, the opposite, there were barricades. I like you. I like that. I embrace that compliment. So does that make me like Oliver Thomas? That makes me like his dad a lot. But I am friendly with Oliver Thomas, like I have his number. I don't call some secretary. I call him or text him and say, can you come on the program? But I can promise you this. I will always ask the tough questions, and I will continue to do what I've always done, no matter what my relationship is. I don't befriend the people I cover, okay? I'm not friends with Oliver Thomas. We don't do things together. I don't call him and discuss things. I learned that a long time ago. Politicians, anybody I'm covering, don't befriend them. There's no reason to. And for me especially, again, I'm not bragging. I'm just fortunate. Large family, large group of friends, and a large group of acquaintances. I mean, I walk around New Orleans. I know so many people from just my age, what I do for a living. I like people. I engage with people. I'm interested in what they're doing. I like talking to them. We go back and forth. So, I mean, every day, man, it's like it's my city. I love it. And I'm going to keep banging away and doing my job. But no, because I have Oliver Thomas on and we have like a friendly conversation doesn't mean I'm not going to ask him. I'm like, hey, Bold Life, Soul Coup, these black groups, they're extreme. It's divisive. You're against them, right? They're not going to be for this gumbo coalition administration you want to put together. I'll always ask those questions. I'll ask him again about convicted felon. How do you get those people to vote for you? And are you mad at the ones that won't? It seems they're just being moral or ethical, and all of that. About the $15,000 from Pampy Barade where he went to jail. Don't use gambling as an excuse. Take responsibility for that. It's all on you. There's no addiction excuse. All of that. I'll always stay on Oliver Thomas with that. And anyone else I get on. I like Freddie King. He's very accommodating. I call him, he comes on the show. Doesn't mean I'm going to, accommodate him or do things for him. Always going to be true to myself. Always going to be true to you. Always do the show in a righteous way. And the great thing is 766-9480. You can always call and criticize me, put me on place, correct me when I'm wrong, tell me I'm doing something wrong. I may not agree with you, but you can get it out there. We won't cut you off. Hey, Leidenheimer French bread. My goodness. I had a po' boy yesterday, roast beef po' boy. Leidenheimer French bread, holding it all together. Leidenheimer French bread, almost 130 years baking that French bread in New Orleans. They now send it out to 30 states around the Southeast. 30 states in the United States of America now have Leidenheimer French bread, and every loaf in those 30 states baked right here in New Orleans. Leidenheimer French bread now in 30 other states besides New Orleans and Louisiana since 1896. Leidenheimer Baking Company. What's that, Blue Boy? Thank everybody listening, watching, and the Corporal. Mañana, 4 p.m.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333.